Every day, organizations chase success. They set targets, measure performance, and push harder for results. More sales, more market share, more efficiency. They play the game as if it's about winning. But here's the problem: many of them don't even understand the rules. They think they're playing a finite game, one with a clear endpoint, a finish line, a moment when they can declare victory. But business, leadership, life, these are infinite games. There is no finish line. There is no winning. There is only the ability to keep playing. Yet, most leaders make decisions as if the goal is to be number one, to beat the competition, to dominate the market. And in doing so, they sacrifice the very things that allow them to stay in the game. They burn out their people, they compromise their values, they prioritize short term gains over long term sustainability. And then they wonder why their teams lack trust, why morale is low, why turnover is high. Look at organizations that endure, companies, movements, even nations that stand the test of time. What do they have in common? They understand that the real game isn't about beating anyone else. It's about staying in the game. It's about building something that lasts. They don't measure success in quarterly earnings or annual reports. They measure it in the strength of their culture, in the loyalty of their people, in the impact they create beyond themselves. Leaders who truly understand the game aren't obsessed with competition, they're obsessed with vision. They don't ask, how do we win? They ask, how do we keep going? They build trust because they know that without it, there is no team. They embrace change because they know that adapting is the only way to endure. They focus on people because they know that when people thrive, organizations thrive. The question is not whether you are ahead or behind today. The question is whether you are playing to stay in the game tomorrow. Because those who chase the illusion of winning will always find themselves exhausted, frustrated, and lost. But those who understand the game they're truly in, those who lead with vision, trust, and purpose, will always find a way forward. Infinite V's. Finite games leaders often mistake business and leadership for finite games with clear endpoints, when in reality they are infinite games that require long-term vision and adaptability. The pursuit of results, organizations focus heavily on short-term goals like sales and market share while ignoring the sustainability of their long-term mission. The dangers of competition. Leaders who fixate on beating competitors miss the point that success isn't about domination, but about lasting relevance and progress. Sacrificing people for profits. When leaders prioritize short-term gains, they risk damaging their culture, burning out their teams, and creating a toxic work environment. Trust is a cornerstone. Successful leadership isn't about controlling outcomes, but fostering trust. Without trust, teams cannot function effectively and organizations cannot grow. The importance of vision. Great leaders aren't focused on merely winning today, they're committed to building a future and a legacy that continues beyond their tenure. Adaptability is key. The ability to pivot and evolve is essential in an infinite game. Leaders must embrace change rather than resist it to stay relevant and sustainable. Measuring success beyond profits. Long-term success isn't solely defined by financial metrics. It's also about building a strong organizational culture, loyalty, and the positive impact you create. The role of people. Leaders who invest in people and empower their teams are far more likely to endure because thriving individuals contribute to thriving organizations. The true game of leadership. The real game in leadership is not about competing against others, but about keeping your organization alive, evolving, and capable of contributing to the world for the long haul. In the world of leadership, too many leaders approach their roles as if they are participating in a finite game. A finite game has a clear beginning and end, defined rules, and a winner or a loser. Think of a sports match, a competitive business quarter, or a political election. Once the game is over, the winner stands tall and the loser moves aside. There's a finish line. The game is over. You can claim victory and move on to the next challenge. But business, leadership, and the real impact of organizations don't work this way. They are part of an infinite game. An infinite game is one without a defined end. It's not about winning in the traditional sense, it's about perpetuating the game itself. Leaders who understand this realize that their role is not to dominate or defeat their competition, but to ensure their organization stays in the game for the long haul. The game continues, and there is always a new challenge on the horizon. The focus, therefore, shifts from winning a singular battle to staying relevant and evolving. Leaders caught up in the finite game often focus on short term metrics, such as beating the competition, hitting quarterly targets, or outperforming last year's results. They define success by outcomes that can be measured in the short run, often sacrificing long term sustainability in the process. They push their teams hard, fixate on immediate gains, and forget the bigger picture: the game doesn't end. In contrast, those playing the infinite game understand that the true goal is to maintain the organization's ability to keep moving forward. Winning isn't about coming in first place today, it's about creating a culture that can adapt and evolve to meet whatever challenges arise tomorrow. It's about establishing a vision that transcends momentary victories, something that outlasts individual milestones. When leaders operate within the framework of an infinite game, they're less likely to burn out their people or compromise their values for temporary wins. Instead, they create sustainable models for growth, prioritizing vision, adaptability, and the well being of their teams. Their focus is on maintaining momentum and ensuring that their organization can continue to grow and contribute long after they're gone. In many organizations, the relentless pursuit of results dominates the leadership mindset. Leaders are often judged by the numbers: revenue growth, profit margins, market share, sales targets, and performance metrics. There is a natural human inclination to focus on tangible outcomes because they are measurable, clear, and offer immediate feedback on success. However, the fixation on these results can lead to a dangerous mindset that sacrifices long-term growth and sustainability for short-term achievements. In their pursuit of these results, leaders sometimes forget that the journey toward achieving them is as important as the outcomes themselves. Focusing solely on the endgame can lead to unhealthy competition, poor decision making, and a culture that prioritizes individual achievement over collective well being. Companies may achieve their quarterly targets, but at the cost of burning out their people, undermining trust, and damaging relationships. The emphasis becomes more about crossing the finish line as quickly as possible than about creating something that will endure. This results driven mentality can also narrow a leader's perspective. When success is reduced to numbers, it often ignores the qualitative aspects of leadership, such as innovation, trust, culture, and human connection, that are just as critical to long term success. A company that excels in profits today may struggle tomorrow if it lacks a strong culture or the ability to adapt. In fact, a sole focus on immediate results can lead to a series of missteps as leaders push their teams to meet short-term goals while ignoring the deeper, more meaningful work that contributes to lasting impact. The pursuit of results then needs to be redefined. It should not be about achieving an arbitrary target, but about creating a foundation that allows the organization to continue growing, evolving, and contributing over time. Leaders should measure success not only in the numbers, but also in the strength of their people, the resilience of their culture, and the sustainability of their strategies. Results should be seen as a byproduct of strong leadership, thoughtful decisions, and long-term vision, rather than as the sole goal that drives all actions. Competition, in its simplest form, is often seen as a driving force that propels organizations to perform at their best. It pushes companies to innovate, to find better solutions, and to keep improving. However, when competition becomes the sole focus of leadership, it can have a range of negative consequences that undermine the long-term health and sustainability of an organization. The danger lies in the obsession with outpacing rivals and believing that success is defined by who is ahead and who is behind. Leaders who fixate on beating the competition often start to adopt a win-at-all-cost mentality. This approach leads to decisions that prioritize immediate success over long-term stability, such as sacrificing core values, neglecting the well-being of employees, or compromising ethical standards. In an effort to outperform competitors, companies may cut corners, take excessive risks, or pressure their teams to deliver results that come at a personal or professional cost. While they might win in the short term, these actions frequently damage the organization's reputation and its ability to maintain consistent success. Moreover, an overemphasis on competition can stifle collaboration and innovation. When leaders focus too much on defeating others, they lose sight of the potential for growth through partnerships, shared learning, and collective progress. In environments where competition is paramount, employees may feel isolated, discouraged from sharing ideas or working together toward a common goal. Instead of contributing to a culture of openness and creativity, the pursuit of competition often leads to a culture of fear and rivalry, one that discourages risk-taking, experimentation, and genuine collaboration. Another danger of an over-competitive mindset is the erosion of purpose. When leaders are constantly looking over their shoulder, worried about what others are doing, they may become disconnected from their own vision. The original purpose behind an organization's work gets clouded by the need to outpace others, and decisions become more about responding to external threats than about advancing the company's mission. This can lead to strategic missteps as leaders start to mirror the actions of their competitors, adopting strategies that may not align with the organization's unique strengths or values. In the long run, the intense focus on competition can also alienate customers and employees alike. When success is only measured by how much better an organization is compared to its rivals, it risks losing sight of the true value it provides, whether that's serving its customers, fostering a healthy workplace, or creating meaningful impact in the world. Rather than drawing customers in with authentic value and innovation, companies may resort to superficial tactics like price wars or aggressive marketing that ultimately weaken their brand and diminish trust. The same happens with employees. When competition overshadows everything else, teams can feel disposable, as if their value is only tied to how well they perform relative to others. True leadership is not about beating the competition, it's about creating something meaningful that can withstand the tests of time. Leaders who understand this recognize that their role is to focus on building lasting value, not just outshining others. By shifting the focus away from competition and toward purpose, sustainability, and collaboration, organizations can create environments where everyone, from leaders to employees to customers, thrives. The relentless drive for profits is a common theme in the business world, where the bottom line often dictates the decisions leaders make. The pressure to meet targets, increase revenue, and deliver short-term results can lead to choices that overlook the most vital asset an organization has: its people. When profits become the sole measure of success, leaders may find themselves sacrificing their teams in pursuit of financial gain, which can have far-reaching consequences for both individuals and the organization as a whole. At the heart of this sacrifice is the tendency to prioritize immediate financial results over the well-being of employees. In environments where the drive for profits is relentless, workers may be asked to do more with less. They might face impossible expectations, longer hours, or a lack of necessary resources. Over time, this erodes employee morale, causing burnout, dissatisfaction, and ultimately disengagement. People start to feel like cogs in a machine, replaceable, overworked, and undervalued. This approach may yield temporary financial gains, but it builds a culture of distrust and disillusionment that can be difficult to reverse. When leaders make decisions solely for profit, they risk creating a toxic environment where people are treated as expendable assets rather than valued individuals. This mindset leads to the breakdown of loyalty, commitment, and trust within teams. Employees who feel undervalued are less likely to invest in the organization's success. They may disengage, work only to meet the minimum requirements, or in the worst cases, leave altogether, taking their knowledge and experience with them. High turnover rates, increased recruitment costs, and the loss of institutional knowledge can ultimately be more damaging than any short-term financial gain. Furthermore, sacrificing people for profits often leads to poor decision-making, particularly in the areas of talent management and organizational culture. When the focus is on maximizing profits at all costs, companies might cut corners in areas like employee development, training, or work-life balance, which are essential for long-term growth. A failure to invest in people results in a workforce that lacks the skills, motivation, and engagement necessary to drive innovation and sustain success. As a result, the organization may struggle to adapt to changes in the market, lose its competitive edge, and become stagnant. The negative impact also extends to the customer experience. When employees are overworked, disengaged, or dissatisfied, their ability to deliver exceptional service or create quality products diminishes. Customers are the ultimate recipients of the consequences of poor internal culture, and this will inevitably affect their perception of the brand, leading to lower satisfaction, fewer repeat customers, and ultimately a decline in profits. Sacrificing people for profits not only harms the individuals within the organization, but also undermines the long-term success of the business itself. Sustainable growth is built on trust, collaboration, and mutual respect between leaders and their teams. When leaders prioritize people, when they value the well-being of their employees, invest in their growth, and foster a healthy, supportive culture, they create an environment where people are motivated to do their best work, which in turn leads to better outcomes for the organization as a whole. Ultimately, profits will follow naturally, but not at the expense of the very people who drive that success. Trust is the foundation upon which every great organization is built. Without it, there can be no true collaboration, no genuine engagement, and no lasting success. In the business world, trust is not just a feel-good concept. It is a strategic necessity that influences every interaction, decision, and outcome. Leaders who understand this recognize that trust is not given lightly, nor can it be assumed. It must be earned, nurtured, and maintained. When trust is present, teams work together seamlessly. People feel safe to voice their opinions, to share ideas, and to take risks. They understand that their leaders have their best interests at heart, that they are valued not just for their productivity, but for their humanity. In such environments, employees are motivated to go above and beyond, not because they fear the consequences of failure, but because they believe in the mission, they believe in each other, and they believe in their leaders. Trust fuels creativity, fosters innovation, and empowers individuals to contribute their full potential. It transforms ordinary teams into high-performing, resilient ones that can weather challenges and seize opportunities. On the flip side, a lack of trust undermines everything. When trust is broken or never established, fear takes root. Fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of consequences. In such an environment, employees are hesitant to take risks or propose new ideas. They focus on self-preservation rather than collaboration, and their efforts are geared toward avoiding mistakes rather than striving for excellence. Innovation slows, morale plummets, and the organization begins to stagnate. The lack of trust also erodes loyalty, and the result is often high turnover rates, disengaged employees, and a toxic culture that can be difficult to repair. Leaders play a critical role in building and maintaining trust. They do so by being transparent in their decisions, keeping their promises, and demonstrating integrity in all their actions. Trust is built through consistent behavior over time, not through empty words or short-term gestures. Leaders who are honest, who listen, and who show empathy to their teams create an environment where trust can thrive. They model the behavior they expect from others, setting the tone for how people should interact with one another. In addition, trust in leadership is not just about what leaders do, but how they make others feel. Leaders who are approachable, who care about their people, and who make an effort to connect on a human level foster trust that extends beyond professional duties. It's about showing up with authenticity and consistency, allowing employees to see the person behind the title. Leaders who show vulnerability and admit mistakes create a sense of shared humanity, reinforcing the notion that trust is mutual. Furthermore, trust in an organization is not limited to internal relationships, it extends to customers, partners, and other stakeholders. Companies that build trust with their customers, suppliers, and communities establish long-term relationships that can weather market shifts and external challenges. In a world where consumers are increasingly looking for authenticity and transparency, the trust that an organization cultivates can become one of its most valuable assets. Trust, when present in an organization, becomes a self-reinforcing cycle. It breeds collaboration, innovation, and loyalty, all of which contribute to higher performance and long-term success. In contrast, when trust is absent, organizations struggle to achieve their full potential, and even the most well-designed strategies can fall flat. Trust is the glue that holds everything together, the invisible force that propels organizations forward. It is the cornerstone of leadership, and without it, the foundation of any organization will inevitably crumble. Vision is the guiding force that shapes the future of any organization. It's not just a statement of goals or a plan for success. It's a deep, compelling sense of purpose that drives every decision, every action, and every interaction within a company. A clear and powerful vision provides direction, fuels motivation, and aligns individuals toward a common goal. Without it, organizations drift, teams lack focus, and opportunities slip by unnoticed. When leaders have a clear vision, it becomes the lens through which they view the world. It helps them to see beyond the day-to-day challenges and noise of the present, allowing them to focus on what truly matters. Vision provides a sense of purpose that transcends individual tasks and responsibilities. It unites people under a shared cause, inspiring them to work often toward goals that may seem impossible at first glance. This sense of unity is critical because when employees understand the larger purpose of their work, they become more committed, more engaged, and more willing to contribute their best. A strong vision also fosters resilience. In an ever-changing world, businesses face constant challenges, economic shifts, market changes, evolving customer needs, and unforeseen crises. A clear vision helps leaders and teams navigate uncertainty. When obstacles arise, the vision serves as a North Star, reminding everyone why they are doing what they're doing and where they are headed. It helps people stay focused and grounded, knowing that setbacks are just temporary moments on the path to achieving something greater. Moreover, vision is a magnet that attracts talent and resources. People want to work for organizations that have a sense of purpose, that are committed to something bigger than themselves. A compelling vision draws in individuals who are passionate about the cause, who align with the values in the organization, and who are eager to contribute their skills toward achieving the broader goal. It also appeals to investors, partners, and customers who believe in the organization's long-term mission rather than just its short-term financial prospects. When vision is clear and communicated effectively, it attracts the right people and resources, creating a virtuous cycle of growth and opportunity. The importance of vision also lies in its ability to inspire innovation. When people are driven by a compelling vision, they are more likely to think outside the box, to experiment with new ideas, and to embrace change. They understand that the journey toward the vision may require adaptation and evolution, which fuels creativity and problem solving. Vision gives employees the freedom to explore new ways of doing things, knowing that their efforts are aligned with the bigger picture. This not only leads to better solutions and breakthroughs, but also fosters a culture of continuous improvement. Leaders with vision are also more effective in making decisions. Every choice they make is informed by their larger goals and the impact it will have on the organization's future. Rather than being caught up in the urgency of short-term problems, visionary leaders are able to keep their eyes on the long-term horizon, ensuring that each decision moves the organization closer to its ultimate purpose. They inspire confidence and trust in their teams because everyone understands that decisions are made with the future in mind, not just immediate gratification.